ओके।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारि। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा। जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा। जयो जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय श्री जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुंदर जगन्नाथ स्वामी पतमी नयन पतम भाव तुम्हें निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन पतितपावन 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 गौर जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री श्री राधा गोविंद श्री वल्लभ की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की निताय गौर। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुष्ये नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गो ब्राह्मणाय हिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते वे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पश्चादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपः तमाहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्री परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षः सः अभ्यन्तरं शुचिः। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। हरे Hare Krishna. Am I clearly audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu.
I changed my
Yes,
laptop,
Prabhu.
so I was not sure it's working or not. So we are in Canto 9, chapter 19, very close to 10th Canto, which everybody wants to read. But don't worry, in this Canto itself, in chapter 24, Lord Krishna will start. His appearance will start. So here we are in chapter 19. I think Pavan Prabhu has discussed half of the chapter already yesterday. So what I'll do, just to maintain the rhythm, I'll just read the translations of the first 15 verses. I think he already did till 15th verse, if I'm right. I couldn't hear the end part of his class. I was there till almost 1 hour. Then I had another class, so I had to leave yesterday. So first of all, happy Ekadashi for everybody who has joined. Sundar Keshav Prabhu, Dandot Pranam, thank you for joining. Anushri Mataji, Shashank Prabhu,
Dandot Pranam, Prabhu.
joining. Very happy to see you.
Hare Krishna, Vardhanath
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Kinchan Priya Prabhu, thank you for joining.
Dandot Pranam, Prabhuji.
Ritu Mataji, thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu,
thank you.
Dandot Pranam, thank you for joining. Padma Malini Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Very happy you're publishing your new name. I'm so happy to see that. Very well. Yes. Srinivasulu Prabhu, thank you for joining. Srinivas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Lalita Madhavi Mataji, Lavanya Mataji, Hari Bol. So we have to remember this name, Lalita Madhavi Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Everybody, thank you for joining. So we'll read the translations. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, Yayati was very much attached to women. In due course of time, however, when disgusted with sexual enjoyment and its bad effects, he renounced this way of life and narrated the following story to his beloved wife. So the background, and I'm not going to get into the 18th chapter now, the past chapter. Basically, Yayati got cursed by Shukracharya to lose his youth and become old. Now, his desire to enjoy sex life in his youth, enjoy youth basically, was there in him. It was not extinguished. So what did he do? When he pleaded, he got a benediction that he can switch his old life with somebody else and get his young life. So he switched it with his own son. Very unusual, in Bhagavatam, Amala Puran, we get to hear these kind of incidents where sense gratification is shown so much interest. But Bhagavatam is not propagating sense gratification. Bhagavatam is saying that even the people who could not control their senses and who went ahead and did such things, eventually they realized whatever they did was useless. So basically he took the youth from his son Kuru, and then he became young, and then he tried to enjoy with many women, not with one, not satisfied with one. Of course, Devyani, Samrishta, the fight between them, and how both of them begot sons from him, and then he got cursed. All that is there, So he went through a lot. So the first half of this chapter is about he going to his wife and explaining, that please understand what is my realization. I try to enjoy sexual enjoyment and sense gratification, but I'm not satisfied. For that, he is telling a story here. Right? So text 2. My dearly beloved wife, daughter of Shukracharya. In this world, there was someone exactly like me. Please listen as I narrate the history of his life. By hearing about the life of such a householder, those who have retired from householder life always lament. So he's giving an allegoric story here. Text 3. While wandering in the forest, eating to satisfy his senses, a male goat, by chance approached a well, in which he saw a she-goat standing helplessly, having fallen into it by the influence of the results of nutritive activities. Text 4. After planning how to get the she-goat out of the well, the lusty he-goat dug up the earth on the well's edge with the point of his horns in such a way that she was able to come out of it very easily. Prabhupada writes, attraction for women is impetus for economic development, housing and many other things meant for living comfortable in this material world. Hare Krishna. So if Hyderabad is advancing, so many skyscrapers are coming, that only means there are he-goats behind she-goats. Text 5 and 4. 5 and 6. When the she-goat, who had very nice hips, got out of the well and saw the very handsome he-goat, she desired to accept him as her husband. When she did so, many other she-goats also desired him as their husband because he had a very beautiful bodily structure and a nice mustache and beard, and was expert in discharging semen and in the art of sexual intercourse. Therefore, just as a person haunted by a ghost exhibits madness, the best of the he-goats attracted by the many she-goats engaged in erotic activities and naturally forgot his real business of self-realization. Text 7. When the she-goat who had fallen into the well saw her beloved goat engaged in sexual affairs with another she-goat, she could not tolerate the goat's activities. Envy between goats. Text 8. Aggrieved by her husband's behavior with another, the she-goat thought that the he-goat was not actually her friend, but was hard-hearted and was her friend only for the time being. Therefore, because her husband was lusty, she left him and returned to her former maintainer. Hmm. Text 9. Being very sorry, the he-goat, who was subservient to his wife, followed the she-goat on the road and tried his best to flatter her, but he could not pacify her. Text 10. The she-goat went to the residence of a Brahmana who was the maintainer of another she-goat, and that Brahmana angrily cut off the he-goat's dangling testicles. But at the he-goat's request, the Brahmana later rejoined them by the power of mystic yoga. See, this is so funny, right? I mean, here the testicles being cut off is being explained of the curse that Shukracharya gave to Yayati, saying that you will become old. So basically, old people, they can't have sexual intercourse. So it's as good as cutting off their testicles. So allegorically, he's explaining his wife that goat got cursed like that. Text 11. My dear wife, when the he-goat had his testicles restored, he enjoyed the she-goat he had gotten from the well. But although he continued to enjoy for many, many, many years, even now he has not been fully satisfied. Text 12. Oh, my dear wife with beautiful eyebrows, I am exactly like that he-goat. So I am so poor in intelligence that I am captivated by your beauty and have forgotten the real task of self-realization. Text 13. A person who is lusty cannot satisfy his mind even if he has enough of everything in this world, including rice, barley, and other food grains, gold, animals, and women. Nothing can satisfy him. Same verse in Bhagavad Gita. Bhogeshwara Prashiktanam, Taya Prashiktanam. Vyavasayatmika buddhir samadhanam vidhyate. So here, Prabhupada is also quoting from another place. Bhagavatam 10:33-39. Bhaktim param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam rid rogam asvi apihinoti achirena dhira. If one becomes Krishna conscious, then he can give up this heart disease. Otherwise, this disease of lusty desires will continue, and one cannot have peace in his mind. Text 14. As supplying butter to a fire does not diminish the fire, but instead increases it more and more, the endeavor to stop lusty desires by continual enjoyment can never be successful. In fact, one must voluntarily cease for material desires. Heavy verse. So, text number 15. When a man is non-envious and does not desire ill fortune for anyone, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appear happy. This example of Prabodhananda Saraswati is being given. What he's quoting is being given. So till yesterday, till which verse did Prabhuji go? Anybody can tell if you have attended yesterday's class till then? Till 15 or? I'm sorry, I should have checked it myself. I don't have the recording with me yet. So, okay, no problem. We'll start from text number 16. Ya dusyaja durmati bhir जीर्यतो या न जीर्यते ताम तृष्णाम दुःख निवहाम सर्वकामो drutam त्यजेत. For those who are too attached to material enjoyment, sense gratification is very difficult to give up, even when one is an invalid because of old age. One cannot give up such desires for sense gratification. Therefore, One who actually desires happiness must give up such unsatisfied desires which are the cause of all tribulations. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So here, King Yayati is telling his realization that with old age, don't think your desires will go down. They'll get more frustrated, right? You see that, what is that? Recent big controversy, Epstein files, right? Epstein files. It's going on. Most of the people who went and tried to enjoy with young girls were all old men, right? Above their 50s, something like that. 50s, 60s. What does it mean? There are rich people, very rich people, millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, some of them, right? And it's not like they did not enjoy life. They enjoyed all kinds of sense gratification. But what did they do? When they got an opportunity to enjoy more, they even went ahead and abused and raped minor girls. And the whole thing came out, in the news. It's all over in the news. Presidents of the countries have got involved in it. Huh? It's such a shameless country that the president is still a president, even though he is directly convicted. He's part of it. His pictures can be seen, his videos can be seen going around with Epstein. He might have hidden somebody might have hidden some videos with minor girls, but still, they are so hungry for power. Some of them resigned, and some of them are caught red-handed in those videos. They resigned. Some of them are shamelessly continuing. Huh? But it shows that, Bhagavatam, what was spoken 5,000 years ago by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, then repeated by Sutta Goswami, everything that was told then even applies today. Even though they have enjoyed so much, they still are succumb to this desire for enjoyment and more enjoyment as the age advances. Your body is not cooperating, your sexual organs are not that active, but the desire to enjoy them is completely super active. And what comes out of it? Frustration. Like the last verse, Yayati, King Yayati is saying that it will only lead to tribulations, right? It will only lead to more and more anxiety and unhappiness. You can literally see that happening. Wow, Shri Gopala Dasa, Hari Bol. Very happy to see your initiated name. It's the same, but you marked a little Shri space Gopala Das. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandatanam.
Prabhu. So, perfect. We have actually seen, especially in the Western countries, that men who have reached more than 80 years of age still go to nightclubs and pay heavy fees to drink wine and associate with women. My God, I didn't even see the purport before I told about Epstein files, and Prabhupada is exactly quoting 50 years ago that old men will do this in Western countries. So Prabhupada is Trikala Gyani. He can tell what is going to happen next also. Although such men are too old to enjoy anything, their desires have not ceased. Time deteriorates even the body itself, which is a medium of all sensual satisfaction. But even when a man becomes old and invalid, his desires are strong enough to dictate that he go here and there to satisfy the desires of his senses. Therefore, by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, one should give up his lusty desires, as explained by Sri Yamunacharya. यद्वति मम चेत कृष्ण पदारविंदे नवनवरस धामनि उद्यतां रन्तुम् आसीत् तद्वधीपत नारी संगमे स्मर्यमाने भवति मुक्त विकार शुस्तु निस्थीवनं च. When one is Krishna conscious, he gets more and more happiness by discharging duties for Krishna. Such a person spits on sense gratification. I'm just trying to imagine when will that day come? When will that day come? When I can spit on the material desires and feel disgusted of even thinking about them. When will that day come? We all should aspire for that. Especially that of sexual enjoyment. An experienced advanced devotee is no longer interested in sex life. The strong desire for sex can be succumbed only by advancement in Krishna consciousness. So the more you try to subdue it, the more you try to control it, the more it gets frustrated, the more it will ask you to do it. Instead, don't focus on sex life or sense gratification. Focus more on increasing your Krishna conscious activities. That is the key. Become so busy that even if the desire comes, you don't have time to implement it. Hare Krishna. Text 17. Matra swa, swara, swarasra duhitrava navivi taishano bhavet balavan indriya gramo vidvamsham api karshati. One should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat with even one's own mother, sister, or daughter. Hare Krishna. But the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attached by purport. Learning the etiquette of how to deal with women does not free one from sexual attraction. As specifically mentioned herewith, such attraction is possible even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. Can you imagine that? Generally, of course, one is not sexually attached to his mother, sister, or daughter. But if one allows himself to sit very close to such a woman, one may be attracted. This is a psychological fact. It may be said that one is liable to be attracted even if he is not very advanced in civilized life. However, as specifically mentioned here, vidvamsam api karshati, even if one is highly advanced materially or spiritually, he may be attracted by lusty desires. The object of attraction may even be one's mother, sister, or daughter. Therefore, one should be extremely careful in dealing with women. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was most strict in such dealings, especially after he accepted the sannyasa order. Indeed, no woman could come near him to offer him respect. Again, one is warned herewith that one should be extremely careful in dealing with women. A brahmachari is forbidden even to see the wife of his spiritual master if she happens to be young. The wife of the spiritual master may sometimes take some service from the disciple of her husband, as she would from a son. But if the wife of the spiritual master is young, a brahmachari is forbidden to render service to her. But even in spiritual life, in the Gurukul also, as Kali Yuga is progressing, you can see horrible things surfacing, especially in high societies where too much money is there, too much facility for enjoyment is there, but they are doing all perverted, horrible things they are doing to enjoy. If I start talking about the cases that we hear, that get reported, what about the cases who are not even reported? If we just discuss some of the cases, it will create, distaste in your mouth, even to speak or to hear. Such kind of horrible things are happening, right? That's primarily not because women became more attractive or men became more lusty, because there is no Krishna consciousness. Where there is no Krishna consciousness, such things will automatically increase. You can't do anything about it. Yeah. Text 18. Purnam Varsha Sahasram me Vishayan Sevato Asakrat Tathapi Chanu Sha Vanam Trishna Teshu Pajayate. I have spent a full 1,000 years enjoying sense gratification. Sahasram me. Yet my desire to enjoy such pleasure increases daily. I think this verse should make some of us feel good also, that I am not alone. Maharaj Yati is explaining in terms of his actual experience how strong are sexual desires even in old age. Tasmad etam aham tyaktva brahmani adhyaya manasam nidvandvo nirahankaras charisyami mrigai saha. Therefore I shall now give up all these desires and meditate upon the Supreme Personality Godhead, free from the dualities and mental concoction and free from false prestige. I shall wander in the forest with the animals. Then you go, and Prabhupada is writing a big purport for this. Now, most important thing, now, N-O-W, now, he could make the decision. King Yayati could make the decision. Now onwards, I'm going to stop. It's not easy. Every time people say, now I'm stopping, tomorrow they'll start again. The senses are so merciless. Primarily because the Krishna conscious journey is not properly started. It started, but not properly started. But here is King Yayati, who has taken the decision. Purport. To go to the forest and live there with the animals, meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only means by which to give up lusty desires. Unless one gives up such desires, one's mind cannot be freed from material contamination. Therefore, if one is at all interested for being freed from the bondage of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease after a certain age, one must go to the forest. Pancha Sodhvam Vanam Brajet. After 50 years of age, one should voluntarily give up family life and go to the forest. Prabhupada Maharaj, I'm 49. Please pray for me. The best forest is Vrindavana, where one need not live with the animals, but can associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who never leaves Vrindavana. Cultivating Krishna consciousness in Vrindavana is the best means for being liberated from material bondage. For in Vrindavana, one can automatically meditate upon Krishna. Vrindavana has many temples, and in one or more of these temples, one may see the form of the Supreme Lord as Radha Krishna or Krishna Balaram and meditate upon this form. As expressed here by the words of Brahmani Adhyaya, one should concentrate one's mind upon the Supreme Lord, Parabrahman. This Parabrahman is Krishna, as confirmed by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Krishna and his abode, Vrindavana, are not different. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajase Tanayas Tad Dhama Vrindavanam. Vrindavana is as good as Krishna. Therefore, if one somehow or the other gets the opportunity to live in Vrindavana, and if one is not a pretender, but simply lives in Vrindavana and concentrates his mind upon Krishna, one is liberated from material bondage. One's mind is not purified, however, even in Vrindavana, if one is agitated by lusty desires. One should not live in Vrindavana and commit offenses. For a life of offenses in Vrindavana is no better than the lives of monkeys and hogs there. Many monkeys and hogs live in Vrindavana and they are concerned with their sexual desires. Men who have gone to Vrindavana but who still hanker for sex should immediately leave Vrindavana and stop their grievous offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. There are many misguided men who live in Vrindavana to satisfy their sexual desires, but they are certainly no better than monkeys and hogs. Those who are under the control of Maya, and specifically under the control of lusty desires, are called Maya Mriga. Indeed, everyone in the conditioned stage of material life is Maya Mriga. It is said Maya Mriga Daita Yepsitam Anyavadhavad. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyasa to show his causeless mercy to the Maya Mrigas, the people in this material world who suffer because of lusty desires. One should follow the principles of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and always think of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. Then one will be eligible to live in Vrindavana and his life will be successful. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ekadashi. And thank you for giving me this class. Thank you for giving me this purpose. Actually, this Bhagavad Gita classes that are being conducted, it only needs two people. One person hosting and one person speaking. Remaining people join or not, it doesn't matter because it gives so much enjoyment and so much relishing realizations to the person who reads it, a person who hears it. And everybody who joins these classes, Saturday, Sunday, and Ekadashi, are the most fortunate because they're reading Bhagavatam. Doesn't matter. I'm just reading. Did I give any class till now? No. No need to give a class. It's so clear and straight. Just reading, remembering where we are, the vulnerable position in which we are, is enough. Prabhujis and Matajis, please join for your own benefit. And Prabhujis and Matajis, please give class for your own benefit. Nobody is trying to liberate anyone here. Everybody is struggling. King Yati, text 20. One who knows that the material happiness, whether good or bad, in this life or in the next, on this planet or on the heavenly planets, is temporary and useless, and and that an intelligent person should not try to enjoy or even think of such things is a knower of the self. Such a self-realized person knows quite well that material happiness is the very cause of continued material existence and forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position. Jai. Purport. The living entity is a spiritual soul, and the material body is his engagement, not engagement, engagement. I'll repeat it again. Purport. The living entity is a spiritual soul, and the material body is his engagement. This is the beginning of spiritual understanding. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yoganam jara tata deyantaras praptir tiras satsanam yati. An embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age. The soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Bhagavad Gita 2.13. The real mission of human life is to get free from engagement in the material body. Therefore, Krishna descends to teach the conditioned soul about the spiritual realization and how to become free from material bondage. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. The word dharmasya, glani, means pollution in one's existence. Our existence is now polluted and it must be purified. Sattvam suddhayet. The human life is meant for this purification, for not for thinking of happiness in terms of external body, which is the cause of material bondage. Therefore, in this verse, Maharaja Yayati advises that whatever material happiness we see and whatever is promised for enjoyment is all merely flickering and temporary. A Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Even if one is promoted to Brahma Loka, if one is not freed from material bondage, one must return to this planet Earth and continue in the miserable condition of software companies, material existence. Bhutva praliyate. One should always keep this understanding in mind so as not to be allured by any kind of sense enjoyment in this life or in the next. One should be fully aware of this truth. One who is fully aware of this truth is self-realized. Sa Atma Drik. But aside from him, everyone suffers in the cycle of birth and death. Mrityu samsara vartmani. This understanding is one of the true intelligence. And anything contrary to this is but a cause of unhappiness. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Santa Asanta. Only a Krishna conscious person who knows the aim and object of life is peaceful. All others, whether karmis, jnanis, or yogis, are restless and cannot enjoy real peace. Prabhupada is unhesitantly the only Acharya who exposed the material world more than anybody else in the past, explicitly in his purports. Everybody who reads this, my God, what else is there to be told? Tell me. We are all trying to preach, right? We're just trying to repeat Prabhupada's words. Prabhuji and Mataji, so Sa Atma Drik, we have to become Sa Atma Drik. At least understand what is beneficial for our soul. I know we are all suffering. I am suffering. I'm telling you, I'm such a lusty person. So many desires are stuck in my head and my consciousness and my eyes and my senses. They're troubling me. But at least I know that they're troubling me. At least I know that enjoying them is not a solution. At least I know that I have to put an endeavor to stop it. And we have to struggle through it. It cannot be done in one moment like King Yayati. Of course, the pure devotees association, it can be. But we have to at least aspire for it. Text 21. Iti tva nahusho jayam tadiyam purave vaya dattva swa jarasam tasmad adade vigata spruha. Sukadeva Goswami said, after speaking in this way to his wife, Devyani, King Yayati, who was now free from all material desires, called his youngest son Puru and returned Puru's youth in exchange of his old age. So he took from him and then he gave it back to him. He took youth from him and now gave back the youth. Text 22. दिशि दक्षिणा पूर्वस्यां द्रुह्यं द्रुह्युं दक्षिणतो यतुं प्रतीच्यां तुर्वशुं चक्र उदित्यां anum ishwaram. King Yayati gave the southeast to his son Druhyu, the south to son Yadu, the west to his son Turvashu, and the north to his son Anu. In this way, he divided the kingdom. Text 23. Bhumandalasya sarvasya purum arhattamam visham abhishitya grajamstasya vase sthapya vanam yayau. Yayati enthroned his youngest son Puru as the emperor of the entire world and the proprietor of all its riches, and he placed all the other sons who were older than Puru under Puru's control. Text 24. Asevitam varsha pugan sadvargam visayeshu sa kshanena mumuche nidham jatapaksha iva dvija. Having enjoyed sense gratification for many years, O King Parikshit, Yayati was accustomed to it, but he gave it up entirely in a moment, just as a bird flies away from the nest as soon as its wings have grown. So this is the greatness of King Yayati. Not everybody can do it. He could do it. Purport. Maharaj, that Maharaj Yayati was immediately liberated from the bondage of conditioned life is certainly astonishing. But the example given here with is appropriate. A tiny bird, baby bird, independent fully on its father and mother, even to eat, suddenly flies away from the nest when its wings have grown. Similarly, if one fully surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is immediately liberated from the bondage of conditioned life, as promised by the Lord Himself. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18. Kirata Kunandra Pulinda Pulakasha Abhirashum Sumbha Yavana Shadhaya Ye Anye Cha Papayad Apasraya Shraya Sudhyanti Tasmai Prabhavisnave Nama. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulakasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana, and the Kasha races, and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord, for He is the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him. Lord Vishnu is so powerful that he can deliver anyone at once if he is pleased to do so. And Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, can be pleased immediately if we accept his order by surrendering unto him, as Maharaj Yayati did. Maharaj Yayati was eager to serve Vasudeva, Krishna, and therefore, as soon as he wanted to renounce material life, Lord Vasudeva helped him. He must therefore be very sincere in surrendering oneself onto the lotus feet of the Lord. Then we can immediately be liberated from all the bondage of conditioned life. This is clearly expressed in the next verse. Text 25. By the way, welcome to Andhra Pradesh. So we are also mentioned in Bhagavatam, second canto. Andhra. Text 25. Satatra nirmukta samasta sangha atmanubhutya viduta trilinga pare amale brahmani vasudeve libhe gatim bhagavatim pratita. Because King Yayati completely surrendered onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, he was freed from all contamination of the material worlds. material modes of nature. Because of his self-realization, he was able to fix his mind upon the transcendence, Parabrahma, Vasudeva, and thus he immediately achieved the position of an associate of the Lord. Purport. The word Viduta means cleansed, is very significant. Everyone in this material world is contaminated. Karanam Gunasangosya. Because we are in the material condition, we are contaminated either by Sattva-guna, by Rajoguna, or by Tamoguna. Even if one becomes a qualified Brahmana in the mode of goodness, Sattva-guna is still materially contaminated. One must come to the platform of Shuddha Sattva, transcending the Sattva-guna. Then one is Vibhuta Trilinga, cleansed by the contamination caused by the three modes of material nature. This is possible with the mercy of Krishna. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-17, Shrinvata Swa Katha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridi Anta Sto Hi Abhadrani Vidnoti Shruhat Satam. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, the Personality Godhead, who is the Paramatma, Super Soul, in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. They're saying just by hearing Krishna's Leelas and just by hearing Krishna's names, will get cleansed. Because they themselves are, it says, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. They will work. A person trying to be perfectly Krishna conscious by hearing the words of Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita certainly has all the dirty things cleansed from the core of his heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Cheto Darpana Marjana, the process of hearing and chanting the glories of Supreme Lord washes away the dirty things accumulated in the core of the heart. As soon as one is freed from all the dirt of material contamination, as Maharaj Yati was, one's original position as an associate of the Lord is revealed. This is called Swarupa Siddhi or personal perfection. Hari Bol. Today, purports are so beautiful. They're as if Prabhupada is sitting and giving a lecture. If you're just hearing the purport, just close your eyes and think Prabhupada is speaking this. Actually, he is speaking. All his lectures, everything, all his devotional ecstasies, realizations, everything that he wanted to share from the entire parampara, he's put it into the purports. So, Prabhupada ki jai. Text 26. Shrutva gatham devyani mine prastobham atmana stri purusho sneha vaiklavyat parihasam iveritam. When Devyani heard Maharaj Yati's story of the he-goat and the she-goat, she understood that this story, which was presented as if a funny joke for entertainment between husband and wife, was intended to awaken her to her constitutional position. Right? So, even though Yati was telling Devyani about this story before he said, I'm going to leave her and go, and he told that I am that goat, indirectly, he also indicated that she-goat is her only. And indirectly, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sukadeva Goswami indicating that he and she-goats are there in this call also. Can you please lift your hand, thumbs up if you think you're a he-goat or a she-goat? Let me do mine. Yes. So I want to see how many she-goats and he-goats are there. Yeah. Haribol. Yes. Thank you. Congratulations. Welcome all the he-goats and she-goats to this special Bhagavatam reading of Yayati and Devyani, where we are all struggling. But when one actually awakens from material life, one understands his real position as an eternal servant of Krishna. This is called liberation. Muktir hitvan yatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti Bhagavatam 2.10.6. Under the influence of Maya, everyone living in this material world thinks that he is the master of everything. Ahankara vibhadatma karta hamati manyate. One thinks that there is no God or controller, and one is independent, and that one is independent and can do anything. This is the material condition. And when one awakens from this ignorance, he is called liberated. Maharaj Jayati has delivered Devyani from the well, and finally, as a dutiful husband, he instructed her with the story about the he-goat and the she-goat, and thus delivered her from the misconception of material happiness. Devyani was quite competent to understand her liberated husband, and therefore she decided to follow him as his faithful wife. Very bold. Okay. Text 27 and 28. Swa san sa sannivasam suhridam prapayam iva gacchatam Vignya Yeshwara Tantranam Maya Virachitam Prabho Sarvatra Sangam Utsridya Swapnopam Yena Bhargavi Krishne Mana Samavishya Vyadhunol Lingam Atmana. Thereafter, Devyani, the daughter of Shukracharya, understood that the materialistic association of husband, friends, and relatives is like the association in a hotel full of tourists. Everybody, please hear attentively. Huh? If you hear this attentively, you will never miss a class in your life, because the reasons you miss a class is because your relatives have some event, function, or something like that. Now, here is a clear indication being given. What is that? Thereafter, Devyani, the daughter of Shukracharya, understood that the materialistic association of husband, friends, relatives, let me be very more clear. Pednana, Chinnana, Mama, Bava, Chellalu, Akka, Eralu, Kodalu. किसी को हिंदी में बताना आता है सब कुछ? Anybody? What all varieties of relatives you have? Mama, Kaka, Fufa, Chicha, और क्या? बड़े बड़े पापा, छोटी माँ, और कौन है? Anything I'm missing? What other varieties you have? Daughter, son, wife, grandfather, granddaughter. Am I missing anybody? Or did I cover most of them? Friend, close friend, school friend, college friend, neighbor friend, community friend. Any other friend I missed? Office friend. Huh? All these people are nothing but tourists in a hotel. I'm not telling this. Bhagavatam is telling this. Right? Here, thereafter, Devyani, the daughter of Shukracharya, understood that the materialistic association of husband, friends, and relatives is like association in a hotel full of tourists. The relationships of society, friendship, and love are created by Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exactly as in a dream. By the grace of Krishna, Devyani gave up her imaginary position in the material world, completely fixing her mind upon Krishna. She achieved liberation from the gross and subtle bodies. Prabhupada is saying, please hear this attentively, one should be convinced that he is a spirit soul, part and parcel of Supreme Brahman Krishna, but has somehow or the other been entrapped by the material covering of the gross and subtle bodies, consisting of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. One should know that the association of society, friendship, love, nationalism, religion, and so on are nothing but creations of Maya. My God, Prabhupada, what did you say? Please repeat after me if you can. One should know that the association
That the association
of society, friendship, love, nationalism, religion, and so on are nothing but creations of Maya.
creations of Maya.
Thank you. Thank you for repeating. I heard all of you, and I am feeling more clear about Prabhupada's words. Okay. One's only business is to become Krishna conscious and render service unto Krishna as um, extensively as possible for a living being. I'm repeating this again. I'm repeating it. One's only business is to become Krishna conscious and render service unto Krishna as extensively as possible for a living being. In this way, one is liberated from material bondage. By the grace of Krishna, Devyani attained this state through the instructions of her husband. Why I'm repeating the word as extensively? Can anybody share why am I repeating as extensively?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One should be compassionate towards other living beings. That is why it essentially is used.
Thank you, Sanatan Prabhu. Anybody else? Why extensively? As extensively, we should render devotional service.
Essentially, in the sense, some maybe we are prioritizing on the other activities, maybe job and all. But extensively is something kind of exclusively, Prabhuji, where we have to
Extensively and exclusively different. Extensively means going beyond.
Extensively is going beyond our
Comfort zone.
beyond maybe 90-10%. Maybe the percentage varies more into Krishna consciousness.
Oh, because everything is created by
To come
Maya. Rest of everything is Maya. Only this is real, right?
Yes, Srinivas Prabhu. Thank you. Anybody else? As extensively as possible.
come out of clutches of Maya immediately.
Aarti is happening. Just take let me also give it to all of you. Here. Haribol. Deepam. Dupam. My mother keeps bringing when I'm giving class. Hare Krishna. Yes. Radha Gopi Vallabh's Deepam has come. So, as extensively, Prabhuji, I'll read this sentence again. Huh? One's only business, everybody in this group, only business is to become Krishna conscious and render service unto Krishna as extensively as possible for a living being. Meaning, we have to keep increasing our services year after year. That is why, please come to today's 3 p.m. meeting in Bhakti Center, about Rath Yatras. ప్రభుజీ ఇట్లా ట్రాప్ చేస్తావా నువ్వు ఇట్లా చెప్పి మమ్మల్ని లాగుతావా నేను చెప్పట్లేదు ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ట్రాపింగ్ Prabhupada is saying in whichever satsang services are stagnated, spiritual advancement is stagnated. You take it granted. You are in a very wrong place. Any temple, any satsang, any place where the services are stagnated, I think we have done it, I think it's over. You are over. Sense gratification start. You should keep doing something, going beyond your comfort zone. Forget about balancing spiritual and material. It doesn't make any meaning. You want to go back to Krishna? Shoot for the bullseye. Go. Extensively is not saying in your comfort zone. Prabhu, whatever possible, please do, Prabhu. No. Whatever possible we did, that's the reason possibly we took this birth. No, we want to go back. If you want to go back, Prabhupada is saying, one's only business is to become Krishna conscious and render service unto Krishna as extensively as possible for a living being. In this way, one is liberated from the material bondage by the grace of Krishna. Devyani attained this state through the instructions of her husband. Last verse, text 29. Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vidase Sarva Bhutadhi Vasaya Santaya Brahate Nama Haribol. O Lord Vasudeva, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are the creator of the entire cosmic manifestation. You live as a super soul in everyone's heart and are smaller than the smallest. Yet, you are greater than the greatest and are all pervading. You appear completely silent, having nothing to do, but this is due to your all-pervading nature and your fullness in all opulences. Oh, I therefore offer my respectable obeisances unto you. Devyani is telling this final thing, right? Or rather, Sukadeva Goswami is telling. This is the greatness of Supreme Lord. How Devyani became self-realized by the grace of her great husband, Maharaj Yayati, is described here. Describing such realization is another way of performing the bhakti process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. Very good. Flower also. I don't think you can smell it, but see it. Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship, offering praise to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. Bhagavatam 7.5.23. Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting are essentially important. By hearing from her husband about the greatness of Lord Vasudeva, Devyani certainly became convinced and surrendered herself onto the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the knowledge. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadate. Surrender to Vasudeva is a result of hearing about him for many, many births. As soon as one surrenders to Vasudeva, one is liberated immediately. Because of her association with her husband, Maharaj Yayati, Devyani became purified, adopted the means of Bhakti Yoga, and thus became liberated. Thus ends the Bhakti and the purports of the 9th Canto 19th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Yayati Achieves Liberation. And the next chapter is about Puru, King Puru, right? The dynasty of King Puru. And the next chapter is about the dynasty of Bharata. And the next chapter is the descendants of Ajamidha. And after that, Nitai Gaurahari Premanande, the dynasty of sons of Yayati. And then comes Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hari Bol. Om Gyantimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The provision Mataji is, I am not telling hate relatives, but choose your relatives. I'm not telling hate your friends, choose your friends. I'm not telling give up all relationships, choose your relationships. Don't have to satisfy everybody, because all of them are tourists in a hotel who come and go. Everybody's marriage, everybody's Gropravesham, everybody's this, everybody's that. I have stopped going to many of these things for the last 14 years at least. They have not changed anything. Nothing happened. I only go for some very important events, like a marriage. Marriage also for some period. I don't go there and stand there and discuss real estate matters with useless fellows. No, I don't do that. I go, put the akshintalu. I genuinely pray that this couple should somehow get introduced to Krishna consciousness, and they should beget children who will become Krishna devotees. That's all I pray. Get out from there. If there is anybody who inquires in that event, asks me, what are you doing? What is this tilak? I tell him what is it. If somebody ridicules me, I pray for him. Thank you very much. Get out of that place. Marriage, birth, death. These are the only 3 functions you should go. Gropravesham, what is your business? They are buying a house for their sense gratification. You may go, you may not go. If you can go, go, but that's not. But all of these things only when satsang is not there. My relatives are not even calling me now on Sunday evenings and Saturday mornings because they know I don't exist. Any questions, thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Our Satya Sankarshan Prabhu. Is he there?
Dandavat Prabhuji.
Wow, Haribol. Satya Sankarshan Prabhu ki jai.
Prabhuji, one question. See, I've been, actually my sister is there, so she keeps telling me that you take care of parents first. That is your priority.
Hmm.
Don't need to go to all these places. And we had a actually big argument also on this particular aspect. Like, why are you going to all these places, the dhams, all those things? Just take care of your parents. That is the ultimate. Uh, you know, even bhakti, that is the ultimate bhakti. So I'm getting confused whether should I'm doing my duty as a taking care of parents, but and should I stop all these activities? That is the only thing. I'm
Who
getting
is your
confused.
guru? What is your guru's name?
My guru is His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
What is your sister's name?
My sister name is Ratnavalli.
Who is your guru? Ratnavalli or Radhanath Swami?
No, Maharaj.
That is the answer.
Hmm.
Don't listen to useless advisors.
Hmm.
You want to meet her in next life? Go ahead and hear to her advice. You are taking care of your parents very nicely. You are taking them to dhams. You are giving them. You are actually keeping them in your house or close to your house, and you're taking what else you want.
Yeah.
It's pure bhakti for her. Let her serve and let her take birth again. I'm being very
Hmm.
straight and studious because we just went through a chapter where so clearly it is told.
Hmm.
Oh, till initiation, our mind, body, soul belongs to every person on the planet. After initiation, only belongs to Guru.
Hmm.
Done. Done and dusted. Material life is done and dusted.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank
Sorry,
you, Prabhuji.
straight and harsh, but forgive
No,
me.
no, that's good, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
That's my answer I give to anybody who gives me this kind of beautiful advice. That you are not my guru. My guru is I've already chosen and taken initiation. I don't need to hear uh, this kind of what is it? Uh, this kind of I'm not getting the word.
Vedanta.
Hmm?
This kind of Vedanta.
Vedanta.
Not even Vedanta. Something which comforts you, kind of philosophy. Philosophy that comforts you from anybody. Yes, anybody else? Okay, so please come for the 3 o'clock meeting in Bhakti Center. Many of you who are in DCS, and please come for the evening class this today because we're going to do a lot of planning on Jagannath Rath Yatra. We are going to be busy, Prabhu's Mathins. Gachibowli Satsang, we are trying to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Trying to. I'm not saying we are special. I'm just saying that we are trying to. And being part of this group means we have to inspire each other. You have to inspire me. I have to inspire you. Not by talking, but walking the talk. So we'll be busy. We will not have time for nonsensical activities. There will be fall downs, there will be getting ups, there will be struggles, there will be pains, there will be crying, there will be everything. But in midst of that, we are not going to leave Krishna. Krishna is the topmost priority. If there is a relative or a friend who you think is potential to become a devotee, give your time. Otherwise, you are giving your life. Today's quote of Prabhupada, 15th of March. Prabhupada is saying, today is 15th of March and time is this much. And after 1 minute, the last minute that just passed away, you can't buy by paying millions of dollars. You can't. In Chanakya Pandit, Prabhupada quotes that he says time is the most valuable. You cannot buy it back right today, right? With today's 15th of March, we started the class at 7 o'clock, it's 8:15. This 7 o'clock to 8:15, 1 hour and 15 minutes, you cannot buy it. No matter you are Elon Musk, you are anybody, you cannot buy it. It's gone is gone. Right? So how we all have utilized it? By chanting Hare Krishna, by hearing Bhagavatam, we have utilized it. So that's good. That's very good. Please do that. We should become very focused in spiritual life. especially when we have, committed ourselves. Whether or not initiated is not important. Committed ourselves to Guru. We're aspiring, or we have got initiated. We should become very serious. And sometimes the seriousness keeps going away. Everybody has his ups and downs. There is Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna floating around. Sometimes Sattva-guna is permanent, sometimes Rajaguna is permanent, sometimes Tamaguna is permanent. They keep affecting us, but when we fall and up, fall and get up, fall and, but still stay in satsang. Stay in association. Don't just focus on giving association. That is also Maya. Taking association, very important. The more you become, the more you spend time in Krishna conscious life, the more you are in need of association. The people are doing it reverse now. The more advanced they are becoming, they're not taking association. They think I'm advanced now. I think they realize that is Maya. The more time you spend, the more understanding you get, the more association you need. Because to hold that kind of philosophy, to hold that kind of realization is very heavy. And you need a lot of hands and blessings to lift it. Otherwise, it will crush you. Hare Krishna. So, anybody else? Panduranga Priya Prabhu and Padmamalini Mataji together have joined. Hari Bol. Shri Giraj Prabhu, Hari Bol, Dandot Pranam. Shri Gopala Das, Hari Bol. So happy to see so many names, and I wish everybody take initiation from Guru of your choice, any Guru that you choose, in ISKCON. Please let me know. And it's my service to connect all of you. Not that we are getting a gang of devotees. We all want to go back. Don't delay. Don't voluntarily delay your spiritual life. You are at loss. You don't have to prove that to anybody. You are disproving yourself. Don't delay spiritual advancement. Anybody wants to reflect anything, or should we close the class? Okay, so happy Ekadashi to everybody, and I wish you a very nice Ekadashi today. Good chanting of holy names. And let's meet the missionary spirit, because we have to. The theme. What is the theme? We have to extensively serve. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sai Gaura Hari Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna. So did somebody record the class? By recording, I don't know why it stopped.
Yes, Prabhu, it is recorded, cloud recorded.
Okay. Because in the beginning I recorded, but
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare
Send me the recording link later. Hare Krishna. Dandot.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Lilananda
Hare
Prabhu ki
Krishna.
jai.
Lilananda Prabhu down. Hare Krishna.